Hello, this is the third in my series on the Regal Miniatures range. Regal, a New Zealand miniatures manufacturing firm based out of Greytown in New Zealand, has been manufacturing miniatures, I understand, since 1992. Bottom line up front, I've not received any money or endorsements or any even miniatures from Regal. These are all my own personal collection and I really like them. So that's why I'm doing this series on them. The series will include principally around the First World War. There are some other Regal miniatures that I have, and I hope to, over the next few weeks, introduce them. This is the Gallipoli range. For those who don't know, New Zealand and Australia and the United Kingdom and France in 1915, April 24th, launched an ill-fated invasion, an attempt to capture the Dardanelles, which would then open the waterways for the Royal Navy to be able to bring Istanbul under its guns, in effect knocking Turkey out of the war. What they didn't take into account was the tenacious Turkish defence. The campaign, or the invasion of the Dardanelles at Gallipoli, quickly entered into a rather bloody stalemate, and later the withdrawal of British, American, Australian and French forces. I'm sure there are other forces that fought there, but those are the principal ones. Being a New Zealander, and this is a New Zealand firm, we're going to focus on the New Zealanders, or the New Zealand contribution. As we can see from the previous infantry soldier, there are a few changes and a few similarities. The similarities include the same uniform, as we can see, puttees, an olive drab tunic, the 1908 webbing system, which was by all accounts an excellent webbing system and was well liked by the soldiers. The principal differences we now see from the previous soldier is the mounted rifle's hat has been replaced by the ubiquitous and distinctive New Zealand lemon squeezer. Similar to what you'd see on a Mountie's hat, it was used or created by the British New Zealand forces on Gallipoli by, in effect, pushing out the mounted rifle's hat and then pushing the sides or the top down in the shape of a lemon squeezer. And this let the rain, which surprised a lot of planners, fell quite heavily on the Gallipoli Peninsula. It is a distinctive hat, and it is the official hat of the New Zealand Army. At the time, the infantry, the artillery, the engineers and the logistics used it. The cavalry, New Zealand cavalry in the First World War, maintained a mounted rifle's hat, and to this day they still maintain a mounted rifle's hat. The second major change from the pre-Gallipoli New Zealand soldier is the rifle. We've gone from a Lee Metford Long Tom to a Lee Enfield Mark III. The Lee Enfield Mark III was all around a more modern rifle and preferred by every soldier who could get his hands on it. And by the Gallipoli campaign, well, not initially, by the end of the Gallipoli campaign, all New Zealand soldiers were equipped principally with the Lee Enfield. The Lee Enfield had two great advantages. It had the ability to load its large 10-round magazine from stripper clips, and it was slightly shorter. This gave more manoeuvrability and easy use in confined trench systems. The New Zealanders also liked the long sword bayonet. In the Second World War, the Maori Battalion became famed for their bayonet charges, favouring the long sword bayonet. The rifle itself was an excellent rifle and maintained in various forms in use, widespread use in the British Army, New Zealand Army, Australian Army, almost the 1960s. Actually still in service with a number of nations. Principally India still manufactures them now in 7.62mm NATO as opposed to the 308 rimmed cartridge. The miniature itself is its usual high quality. I think it's made of lead, but it is some sort of metal. It is in a gloss paint, which I really like. It's not the most realistic, but I really like it. It comes up well and it shows well. I'll twist this guy around. We can see he's got a moustache and a very cherub rosy cheeks. He's also a sergeant by the look of it, the 3 chevrons on the shoulder sleeve indicate that he is a sergeant. He's wearing the standard knapsack and pack, which would have been almost his marching order for battle. We can still see that he's wearing puttees, which were standard issue to protect your boots, to stop dirt and mud getting down your boots at this stage. We'll continue on with the First World War series shortly. Thank you very much. If you've liked this video, please press the thumbs up.